A very warm welcome to you all, wherever you are, for Lockdown SK, the interactive, self-isolating talk show. And as always, I'm joined in this important event, show, I should say, by Mr. Thomas Haas. Hello, Thomas. Good afternoon.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again. As you know, we started last night, 11 o'clock, with Lockdown SK. That's our viral show. You can say viral show.
Viral show. That's a rather possibly unfortunate choice of words, but slightly witty, maybe. We mean no offence. This, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world, is your perfect platform to pose all your questions, queries, further information, to share your experiences and stories during these unprecedented times that, I'm not exaggerating now, that are affecting the whole globe. Nothing like a world war as we seen such mobilization of all forces, quarantines and lockdowns. Our job is not only to communicate information to you the best we can, on relying on the information sources, of course, but also to hear back from you. That's why we are fully interactive. We are live on Facebook. So please send in us a message live on air, or indeed afterwards. You can always email it as inbox@StudioKerkyra.com. And really, especially, we'd actually love to hear a live voice call from you. So please, why not pick up the phone and dial via Skype straight to us here at the studio of Kerkyra, broadcasting to you from wonderful live Greece. Well, we're live. Greece is always live, of course. But seriously, folks, we would really love to hear and share your experiences. We will endeavour to pass on as much accurate news as possible. And as always, as we said last night, our information is only as good as the sources that it comes from. We tend to be relying on the World Health Organization, the United Nations. And in terms of news media, we say a big thank you to the BBC from the United Kingdom and CNN from the United States of America.
Nicely said, nicely said. See, I got a little bit of a cough, but I think this
is... we all have, actually, haven't we, Thomas? I've got a stinking cold and had for weeks, but I think...
But it has nothing to do with
I don't
that.
think
this is we're talking too much, probably.
Talking too much has given us a cold. Maybe. Anything's possible these days. There's some crazy theories out there, ladies and gentlemen, about all this business. But one thing is for sure, hundreds of thousands of people are being infected with this terrible disease, this virus, of which there are more than one strain, we do believe. And the scientists, we can be rest assured, are battling day and night to provide some sort of vaccine. But we mustn't get too carried away or excited, because we are told it's at least a year plus, maybe a year and a half away. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the news now, I looked at the BBC, like you said, I looked at CNN, also mix in Euronews.
Yes.
Euronews is quite hooked up, it's very good there. And when I listen to certain things, especially to the figures seem not to be the same what they broadcast.
No, there's always been discrepancy on figures. I mean, Iran is a good case in point there. But every country, it's probably very difficult to get accurate figures. You know, it's a bit of a science in itself, I should think, and added strain to all the panic. And that's the one thing that here at StudioKerkyra we're very keen to get out. The message is, please stay calm, because when you panic, things definitely go further wrong. That's for sure. We all kind of need to keep cool heads here, I think. At the same time, not to lose the fact that we are all human beings. We mustn't lose sight of our humanity, which is why we say keep social. And what we mean by that is socializing with your nearest and dearest, obviously, but also social media has come into its own. Right now, in the world, there is no great force for good than social media. So please get on Facebook Live, phone us through Skype and any other mediums that you so choose. We're also on Twitter, you'll be pleased to know. So please tweet away whatever your views and experiences of this dreadful coronavirus may be.
Yes, and I'm just looking, there's our internet connection is holding up.
Well, we do have a few gremlins now and again, and there are always technical issues. But as always, we will endeavour to do our best to bring live quality broadcasting to you. As we say, wherever you are, you may be. We are static. We are adhering to government advice at the moment here in Greece to basically stay indoors. Even though we have a fully functioning mobile unit that is state-of-the-art 21st century streaming shuttle, we've decided it's best to be here, where we live.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see, we have the camera setups now. You can see us from both angles, so it's okay. We try our best at the moment. But do a quick update. The cases been rising throughout Europe dramatically, especially in Switzerland.
Yes,
I heard the news today. So they doubled quickly. So that seems to be a little bit out of control. But how people respond is quite amazing, really. Some said to me, "Oh, wait a little bit. This gonna get nasty. The people gonna get really, really angry and upset." But nothing like that is happening. Everybody keeps calm. Now look in Italy. They're staying on their balconies and singing and applause.
Yes, they are. Isn't that wonderful? And Iran as well, and in China, in Wuhan, they did the same and are still doing these things now. One piece of practical news we can give to the good residents of Corfu, where we are, Greece, is that there are, at the moment, today, I better touch wood pretty quickly, no signs of panic buying, which is absolutely excellent because please, ladies and gentlemen, don't panic buy. You'll just put extra pressure on everybody else. Just take and buy what you need for now. It'll be okay. The world will not run out of toilet roll any day soon. I'm quite sure of that.
I think you're right there, yeah. And just to keep you up to date, the Corfu Port Authority yesterday stopped a ship coming from Italy, Albanian ship from Italy. They are in Guvia Marina at the moment, but all the people on board are not allowed to come off the boat. So that's very wise and thing. Other things, when you look through Facebook and you go into the different groups, Corfu Grapevine, I love Corfu, Corfu Island, Corfu villages and so on, you can see a couple of pictures people went out, and what a crazy scene when you look at these pictures now from Corfu town, the Listen. The famous Listen. We are so used to this being lively, that's full with people constantly all year round, and now it's dead.
It's extraordinary, isn't it, Thomas? We've never seen anything like it, and you can't help but think this is some strange movie plot from a Hollywood blockbuster horror film that we have been so used to seeing. It does have a similar vein to it. Of course, it's not in that ilk, and this is a virus, and it's very serious potentially indeed. I read this morning that they are more convinced than ever that if the summer comes, and we said yesterday to you, viruses don't like heat and they don't like the summer, the worry now is that it may dissipate a little bit in the summer, but only to come back much more stronger and more virulent by the autumn in the United Kingdom. In November, they are warning now. So we just do not know how long a time we are entering into. And I'm afraid to say, ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling at the very beginning of this journey. I've been reading crazy stories about people being locked in their houses, old age pensioners in England over the age of 70 for 4 months in self-isolation. Now, that seems to us at the moment, oh, my goodness. But maybe that is necessary because when you get older, a bit like me, you start to lose I wouldn't say faculties, you don't, but you lose your ability to perhaps fight off nasty germs and diseases such as this one. If you have underlying health problems, of course, that's exacerbated. I did also read this morning that the youngest person in the United Kingdom so far to die was a 59-year-old policeman. So I think all ages are at risk. We heard the other day that a newborn baby had somehow got infected with this virus. I don't think all the scientists know exactly 100% what they are dealing with. And as always, I have to add a note of SK caution here. We're used to saying, yes, we must listen to the medical evidence and the scientists. Absolutely. But remember this, I'm afraid to say, that within those great scientific communities and medical groupings of wonderful brains and people, there's always disagreements. There are always others that think completely differently, even using the same evidence. Nothing is totally exact, really. And we honestly are entering into an unknown phase that is quite extraordinarily affecting almost every single living human being on the planet. I'm sure you've all got some wild and wacky theories out there, and again, we'd love to hear them. But at the moment, we're sticking with the official lines that it is a very nasty, virulent strain of coronavirus. COVID-19, it's been nicknamed. I wouldn't say affectionately. I'm sure there's a good reason for that.
Yeah, definitely. But if you guys wanna talk with us about that, get your opinion across, start a little bit of debate about, you can contact us. You can write in email to us, inbox at StudioKerkyra.com, or you can call us live here on Skype. Again, StudioKerkyra. Have a look on Skype, call us, talk to us. We would love to know what you guys up to now in self-isolation when your quarantine is taking effect. So what do you do? How do you entertain yourself at home? Okay, we got social media, we got a lot of things going on, so that's great. So you see on the bottom of the screen, just write into us, write a comment. Like here, Teresa Dabana wrote a comment.
Hello, Teresa. And hello to all our lovely viewers and listeners, and particularly the regulars. We welcome you all back.
She said, what? Just disappeared again. She said, hello, working from home and missing the noise. So.
Oh, really? That's an interesting point, Teresa. Yes, I guess we get used to these sounds, and when they've all gone, it suddenly feels a little bit weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it must be eerie now in Corfu Town.
Eerie, that's the word. Yeah. Yes.
In Corfu Town, I mean,
we're so used to the coffee shop culture here, which is like in many other places. Amsterdam is another place in point. But it is spooky, isn't it, when you suddenly see what is always an incredibly busy, thronging with lovely tourists 1 minute, and the next minute there's no one.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I saw the pictures this morning. When you log on to the different Facebook groups, you're going to see these pictures. I saw from Ansia Bobby.
Oh, yes.
Great, hello, Ansia. Hello, Ansia. A couple of pictures today.
Really?
On her profile, and it's empty, it's deserted, there is nothing. I mean, we were joking yesterday, it's probably a good time to shoot a disaster movie, no? When you need the streets empty, and then, but
although I don't know about that. In India, they have suspended all Bollywood, all filming of all films until the end of the month and beyond. Yeah. And I think we'll take a leaf out of their book. We have suspended working on what we were doing, which was a documentary, but we have to suspend all that. That's why we're concentrating on this daily broadcast to you, Lockdown SK, which is all about staying calm, but keeping social. That's why we'd love to hear from you. So go on, write that message. You know you want to, and give us a call. Talk to us live here to prove that we are live, of course. Do it.
Great, nicely said. But okay, we got also messaging from Lavinia yesterday. She is reading books.
Yes.
At the moment, so
and catching up with
classic.
Dickens, but I also saw she's reading Hardy. Now, Thomas Hardy is a great poet and writer of the late Victorian era. Tessa the D'Urvilles was one of my favourites. Mayor of Casterbridge, they're all there. Absolutely brilliant writer, as of course was Charles Dickens, who I think was one of the best descriptive of novelists. His description of the River Thames in Oliver Twist is simply awesome.
Yeah, and that's another idea. Teresa Tabana sent us through by email by messaging this morning, saying, you know what, now it's probably a good time to start a book club.
Oh, absolutely.
So why not? No,
Great
you can
idea.
have an interactive book club, and that's the beauty on technology today. You can have Skype calls, you can have Facebook calls, you can use WhatsApp calls, and you can have group calls. So why not? You don't need to sit together in a circle somewhere in the same room. You can do this all online, and that's the beauty. I think we're lucky in this perspective.
Yes.
But when you look back, we mentioned it yesterday about the flu, the Spanish flu, 1918, 1919. No, there were virtually no communication existing.
Very limited. Telegrams were in vogue in those days, weren't they?
So to get the word across to people what to do in this situation was nearly impossible. So we, on one side, a little bit lucky because through the communication, through the digital age, we can communicate instantly anywhere on our beautiful planet.
Oh, it certainly is a beautiful planet, Thomas, and I think we actually forget that. So now is a good time to remember that what a wonderful world you're living in, despite coronavirus. You picked up a good point there from Teresa Tabana. Very good to hear that, Teresa. Regards to Chris as well. Your idea of a book club, that's wonderful. There's some mileage in that. Let's try and do that. And the idea of a video conferencing with all you good people, that's even better. How fabulous that would be. going back to Lavinia, it's lovely to hear from you, Lavinia, again, and I hope you're doing okay. Just hang on in there.
No, she's in self-isolation since June last year. Self-isolation.
Exactly.
She can't leave, and now this on top. So,
and that's exactly. I read your comment yesterday, last night. We'd love to be able to arrange a time convenient to yourself where we can talk to you. I know you've offered to do that. We would like to hear, Lavinia, from you and your experiences of your own self-isolation that actually I do believe predates the coronavirus. So perhaps we could arrange a time and you two could be live on air. I would point out, ladies and gentlemen, that Lavinia was one of our very, very first viewers when we first started broadcasting way back with the first series of Night Shift. Live from Corfu, I should say.
Yeah, and here I'm just getting another message in from Spiradula, Alexander Boli, and saying, hello there. It is really important to everyone, for everyone, to drink a lot of water, and vitamin C and sunlight.
Yes.
I just see if I can. Oh, okay, I can see the whole message here. At least 20 minutes a day if you're going to rain, avoid the rain. So no matter what, good psychology and music is also very important. My recipe is working, love and hugs. Haha. Great. Yes. That's brilliant. Thank you, Spiradola. That's absolutely fantastic. And it's true.
That's a good point about the water, though. That's a good point.
That's a very good point about the water.
Hydrated. Yes. Thank you very much for sharing. We will pass that on and actually keep reminding everybody to do that. And wash your hands. That's another one as well. And cover your nose when you sneeze with either a tissue, or if you haven't got any tissues or you ran out of toilet roll, heaven forbid, use your sleeve. Why not?
Use your sleeve. But when
you're not committing a social faux pas. These are desperate times. You need to throw everything at it that you can to protect yourself from this dreadful coronavirus.
Yeah, and Peter Pauli said, hi guys, keep up the good work. Look forward speaking to you tomorrow. I spoke with him earlier today and I said we try to get him live with the call-in for tomorrow. So let's try.
We had a little bit of technical issue yesterday with Skype, but I do believe we did a test run this morning. The Skype system is working here at StudioKerkyra on Lockdown SK, so please give it a go. Phone us Skype. But as I say that, could I respectfully ask you, if you were to be brave enough, and we'd love to hear from you on Skype, when you make that call, could you turn down the volume of any electronic devices that you may have, particularly if they are broadcasting this live show, because that interferes with the signal and we're not able to hear your dulcet tones. And that's what we actually want to do, to hear from you live at SK Lockdown on Skype. It would be fantastic.
Would be great to find out what you guys are up to now on lockdown. How do you entertain yourself? How do you amuse yourself? So that's the one. But I looked through a couple of group questions today, and there was somebody from England, Ellie Hanstom, sending us over, and this is all hotels actually shut. My holiday is apparently still going ahead in 3 weeks' time. Not sure how this is.
I don't know about that.
So I have no idea. It is just keep up to date. I mean, the tour operators must know.
Yes.
So contacting the tour operator is probably
the best bet.
The best bet. Yeah. Or if you're lucky enough to have the telephone number, the hotel you're booked in, have a look because it's lockdown. Germany closed the borders.
Today,
last night, Austria closed it. So Germany and the 5 neighbors around it. I mean, there was some funny story coming out from Holland. No?
Oh yes, there is. There was queues. I know what you're going to say. Yes, they're desperate to get their last bits of weed. The queues were unbelievable. Actually, almost as unbelievable as the queue. The longest queue I've ever seen was in America, United States of America, and it was for a Costco, a great big giant shop called Costco, big firm in the States. And the queue of people with their shopping trolleys, well, I've never seen the like. The film ran for 5.5 minutes, and that was the gentleman slowly videoing this extraordinary queue. Going back to lockdowns, yes, many countries and cities are in lockdown. One that caught my eye this morning was Manila, capital of the Philippines, which is on the largest island there. A sort of urban population, we're talking about, of about 22.7 million people. They are in lockdown. Imagine that. Manila is the most densely populated capital on the planet, and they're in lockdown. And I mean, these are really scary, unknown times. We are all almost walking, although we're not walking very far, into the unknown here. And the key thing, as always, is communication. That's where we come in. Lockdown, SK. It's not just about your self-isolation stories. It's also about two-way departing of information. What information we get, we will broadcast to you. What information you have, please share it with us. And then we can share it with everybody that tunes in to this program on Lockdown SK, broadcasting live from Corfu, Facebook Live, and of course the website www.StudioKerkyra.com.
Great, and I'm just looking here at messages. A lot of people are logging on. Thank you for logging on, guys. I have here Xenia is logging on. She said, "Hi, guys. I missed you."
Oh, we missed you too.
We missed you too. And she said, "I'm actually working, so I'll be listening to you in the background." Thank you very much.
That's
so,
great.
And if you have any information, Greek side related, please share it with us so we can spread the word.
We do indeed. And we'll try and spread it in the most pleasantest of ways. We don't want to be alarmist. We don't want to be morbid or depressing. We want to try and give you as factual information as we can, at the same time trying to, if we can, cheer you up. Because even though the sun is shining, and we are lucky here in 17 degrees, beautiful sunshine in sunny Greece, it is the beginnings of a rather dark chapter of the world. Perhaps we can agree on that.
Definitely. I mean, it's unheard of. I'm still a little bit shocked about
We're all
it.
in
shock,
because
you know what this is so important for the islands in Greece, and for all the holiday destinations. It's very important.
Absolutely.
Now, this whole thing is postponed in Greece here until the 15th of May. So before the 15th of May, they said, what I found out now from different websites here in Greece, also on newspapers, until 15th of May. That's it. There's a few hotels already open.
Really?
Yes, but they have time and they have to close by the 23rd of March.
Right. Well, that's not far away.
So it's not far away. It's just around the corner.
So
they're going to close too. What's happening with flights, we're going to update. But I want to also look and see, okay, we got a lot of information and let's go into the first. What are the signs of corona? Okay, is fever and tiredness.
Yes.
Yeah. Breathing difficulties, continuous coughing. So if you have developed a new continuous cough, stay at home. If you have any of these continuous cough or high temperature, you should stay at home for at least 7 days, they say.
Totally.
And when I just go over here, if your symptoms get worse or are not better after 7 days, seek medical attention.
Absolutely.
But it is also important cleanliness now.
Oh, very.
When we look into that, so all the websites, BBC, Reuters, they all publicize this. The government are constantly telling us wash your hands. So wash hands for up to 20 seconds with soap and hot water, or use a sanitizer.
Gel. Yes.
Yeah.
And incidentally, a piece of news that I found out this morning, which was the largest luxury goods manufacturer in the world, that's Louis Vuitton Moet Chandon, has given up producing 2 lines of perfumes. They're the people behind your favorite aftershave, I do believe, Thomas, Givenchy, and of course Christian Dior. But they've stopped producing perfumes and given over production lines to manufacture free of charge to all health authorities, particularly the French, obviously, for hand gels and sanitizing hand lotions.
Oh, that's great.
That is great, isn't it?
That's great. They see,
coming together,
in situations like this.
Yes, absolutely.
People come together.
And there's 2 other things I would say on a subject from the United Kingdom yesterday in the Daily Telegraph, or the Sunday Telegraph, I should say. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister's newspaper, as was, in terms of writing for it, it was reported that he'd asked JCB, that famous manufacturer of excavators all around the world, and Rolls-Royce, that's the aero engine and power generation part of the name, to produce a completely different thing to what they're normally doing. Give up their production lines to produce respirators. There is a serious need for respirators in the NHS in the United Kingdom.
Cool. Let's go on. You said this earlier. Use a tissue for coughs and sneezes. And if you don't have a tissue, use it.
Yes, that's a good one, isn't it?
Use your sleeves. Man, is it good? But you know what you have to prevent? This is with the face masks the same now, no?
Yes.
So they're getting quite common now. So I saw when I was a couple of days ago, I saw people running around with face masks. So that looks weird.
It does, doesn't it? Yes.
It's
apparently, according to someone, there's a gentleman in a local supermarket, I won't embarrass him, who obviously hasn't got a face mask, but he's using his scarf, and he looks like the Michelin Man, I do believe.
But avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with
very good advice.
Hands. The next one is avoid close contact with people who are unwell.
Yes.
What I mean is common sense on one side, no?
Yeah. But of course, there's that human element. Oh, you know, daddy or mummy or someone is ill, your favourite brother or sister. Yeah, it's a human thing to sort of give them comfort, but you've got to look after yourself in terms of infection rate here, I think.
Definitely. So stay at least 3 steps away from other people in your home if possible.
Yes.
Okay, that's another one.
Yes. I think of the pieces of very good health advice you've just departed to our audience there, Thomas. The one that I would have the most trouble with is actually not touching your face. I'm unfortunately a great self-face toucher. I can't help it. I'm not even aware that I'm doing it, and I think that actually is the case for most people. That's a little bit of brain train is required on that one, I think, because I have an urge now to touch my face for some strange reason, but notice I'm not. So maybe it's just to think for that moment before you actually do it could save a spread of a germ or two.
Yeah, it definitely could. I'm just reading messages now. So I got another message in here, if I can call this up. Yeah, and Xenia is saying, I have viewed your playlist of songs, and I'm curious what people are listening to so that I could add it on to my playlist.
Well,
why not share your
playlist
of music? And it's a great, it's on one side, it's a great opportunity now just to, do things what you normally don't have time for.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
Just taking this opportunity now, I know with the family, when you really, man, there's a lot, it's a fast life. I think that's the biggest thing now, how fast daily life became. And now, within the last week, it starts slowly grinding to a halt. I'm feeling for all the workaholics out there.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden you sit there, okay, well, what should I do now?
Yeah.
I'm used to work. I'm used to push on. I'm used, like in our industry, we're moving constantly. And I struggle a little bit the last couple of days. Normally I'm out, we're doing things, we're filming. Like the documentary we had to stop last week. We're in the middle of producing a 60-minute documentary on the island of Corfu. And we had to hold production. And this is a big production. It's our first big production.
It would have been, yes. Well, we're still going to do it, but we're still
going to do it. But now, okay, we have to reorganize everything. The same we had to do with our shows. As people know, probably we have Night Shift, what is coming soon back. But this is all about the holiday island of Corfu. Any questions you have about Corfu, we are here to answer. That's the moment for on hold. No? Yeah. And then our road trip out and about Corfu. That's the next thing. So we're planning, we're preparing, we have other events planned for this year. What is all postponed, and it causes us a little bit of a delay with everything, uncertainty. What should we do? Which way should we go? But it hits everybody.
It does indeed. You said something there that's quite profound at the beginning, what you just said, Thomas, about the contrast from we're living in such a busy lives. Everybody's rush, and there's enormous pressure of time. That's as it's been for the last few decades, quite frankly. And now, almost overnight, all of a sudden, it's deserted. There are ghost towns here and there. No one's going to, well, some people are going to work, but many more are working from home or simply not working or not able to work because there is no work for them to do at this current time. But it is extraordinary contrast of maximum people busying around, hustle bustle, to quiet, deserted thoroughfares. I mean, I've seen some video of Rome, extraordinary, normally thronged with tourists everywhere, and there was hardly a person about, not a soul. Maybe an odd pigeon, I think. Going back to philanthropic acts on medical supplies, something that's popped into my head was that Asia's richest man, the man behind Alibaba from China, has donated 1 million testing kits, a million masks and 500,000 testing kits to the United States. So this is an example of corporations, great wealthy industrialists and governments of different countries pulling together, working together for the human good. And I think that's what we've got to focus on, the good of humanity going forward. This is a serious crisis. I mean, that's an understatement to say it's a serious crisis. It's mind-boggling. It's almost unimaginable. And it's very hard to succinctly put into words exactly what it is and what is going on.
Yeah, and I just go through the messages here quickly and update you what people write in. Xenia wrote in YouTube, yes, and Alex Wolder, Mr. Marvell, I have a strange music taste. I blame my father.
I would. If Dave's watching, best wishes to Dave and Alex in New Zealand. Good to hear from you, Alex. I hope you're doing all right.
Jasmine Kate is writing in, I'm diehard to lockdown, little crying face. Anything, Teresa Dabner, anything but George Erza, Mumford and Sons, and of course Wham. What can I say? I'm an 80s freak. Nah, you're not the freak.
Not a freak just because you like 80s music. There's some good
great
stuff.
Music.
Yes,
yeah,
of course. Every decade had its great music, and the 80s was no exception. Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for all your messages, guys. It's great. We try to keep you up. I'm just looking now quickly on the latest news of what's going on, and when you log on to BBC, they have an interesting map on there. And I have to mention that now.
Yes, do.
Because I look on the map on the BBC News and see the spread, the global spread, how it is. Then I look onto CNN News and look at the same map of the global spread, and they both are not the same.
No, that doesn't actually surprise me, because I've been seeing this over the last few days.
In the United States, it's only one little area.
Yeah.
They say
it's totally not accurate. There
it's
are
infected,
many
but there's
cases.
nothing in New York, and New York is in complete shutdown. I just got it off. New York is shut down. All the shops, theater, cinemas, everything is gonna shut down. So that's the first for New York. The city is always alive, no?
Yes, yeah. It's one of the most liveliest, bustling places you could imagine. Extraordinary, a great city, New York, by the way. These are, as we keep saying, unprecedented times. We never thought we'd be saying these lines, quite frankly. But it's an interesting point of the disparaging figures from these esteemed organisations that are then produced by equally esteemed news organisations. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Definitely. I mean, here, BBC Global News, global coronavirus infection outpaces China case. Yeah, China was around 80,000 in the height now, and we're already on 88,000 worldwide, outside China now. Right. So that's grown dramatically.
It has indeed, yes. Figures are changing all the time, every day, and new spots, hotspots, if that's the right word, are emerging as well. It does seem to be the case that many countries are simply closing their borders. New Zealand, where Alex was broadcasting, was one such. I think the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, has got to grips with the crisis from day one, actually. Maybe the United Kingdom has now. Who am I to say? But it's definitely a case that all governments not only have to work within their own territories, but I do think now is the time for greater cooperation between governments of different countries. We do need maximum cooperation, and of course, if ever is possible, for everybody, all of us, to stay as calm as we possibly can.
Yeah, and there we go. But this coronavirus clears Venice of crowds. That came 11 hours ago from the Sing and hand sanitizer stockpiles probe for price gouging. So, so this means the prices are going up. They're gonna
they will come down crushing hard.
But I think the government should do something with price regulation there, especially now, because capitalizing on a time like that, it's not right. And you know what? And social media can finish you off so quickly in the end of the day. So think before you start thinking greedy, no?
Yes. What's the point anyway? I don't think greed serves anything, particularly now that we're beginning this terrible coronavirus problem. I don't think there's any place for greed. We have to not only just think of our own survival, but think of our other around us survival as well, our families, our friends, our loved ones, even our neighbors as well. Well, let's not be selfish here. We've got to start thinking outside the box. Dreadful cliche, I know, but it's true. And that's why we have been bothered or minded, should I say, to do this live broadcast here, because we feel that we are in a unique position to offer you, our lovely viewers, wherever you are in the world, a chance to live contact us here on air. You can also always contact us after the show by just sending us an email at inbox@StudioKerkyra.com. But especially, we'd like to hear from you live on Facebook or that live Skype call. Don't be afraid. Just give us a call and you'll be guaranteed a warm welcome from us.
Definitely, and I'm just looking on here on to the website of Euronews. Now, at least 88,000 cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed globally, compared with 81,000 in China, according to an update count of cases by the researchers at the Johns Hopkins University. It comes as deaths related to virus rose significantly in some European countries. So Italy recorded 368 deaths in 24 hours due to the coronavirus, bringing the total in Italy now to 1,809. In Spain, the death toll doubled in a day, rising to 292. Western Europe has been slowing down actively significantly amidst the cases increase, with many national media reports that France could join Spain and Italy soon with a full lockdown and curfew. Germany, meanwhile, partly closes its borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, Luxembourg, and Denmark.
Yes, extraordinary times.
It's unbelievable. Just we get in our lifetime, nobody would have expected that. We see, man, this is our fault too a little bit, I think, because we see everything so loosely.
Yes, maybe.
No, it's the generation now. Everything comes easy. On one side, the life goes, you can communicate, you can travel, there's no restrictions. You look back 50, 60 years, it wasn't possible that way. But now, global communication is on a point. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic on one side. That's why we can do what we do. And what we're doing here with our live stream shuttle, that's a purpose-built van with all the stuff in to a show like that, but we build it more for events. We build it more for music, for cultural events. But it can come now into its own game, because we just spoke about the possibility of maybe live streaming a church service. The churches are closing down. People don't want to go, but they still want to take their religion up. So why not live streaming? I think it is for live streaming is now its own time.
A good point,
Something
Thomas.
happened now.
Yes.
And we can utilize that and say, okay, but we can make it easier. We can bring still events what are cancelled, music, sport, and so through technology of live streaming, we can entertain. Not just we, there's others out there, and I think that's where we should a little bit emphasize our efforts in the future.
I couldn't agree more with you, Thomas. So if you are a budding performer, writer, producer out there, and you need an outlet in these desperate times, then please consider StudioKerkyra. We could be your outlet. We are your platform after all. Wherever you are in the world, we can live stream from here. We are under restrictions, obviously, but virus permitting, we would be able to film within good reason.
Yeah, so here just get another message in. I just have to look because the sun is coming in on the side. It's brilliant. It's Anthony van der Krank. Hi from the Netherlands. So I lost the message. Now, hi from the Netherlands.
Hello.
And shout out to all the medical personnel around the world, the heroes in this difficult time. Well said, Anthony. That's a fantastic.
Absolutely,
and it's so
Anthony. Thank you for reminding us that. We mentioned it yesterday, but we must keep on ramifying that home. Yes, they are doing an amazing job, potentially saving our very lives.
Definitely, but the one side where I'm a little bit disappointed is, it takes an event like this to realize what, our emergency services do for us, how they help us. They're not just, it takes this event to realize, wow, you know what, we should be grateful for them, but we're grateful now in this situation. We should be grateful all the time because
Totally.
these guys work 24/7. They work bank holidays, they work Easter, they work Christmases, they work New Year shifts. So they doing it constantly, but it takes an event like that to finally applaud to them. I think we should make that a yearly event to applaud
Yes, that's a
to
good
the
idea,
emergency
Thomas.
services
Yeah.
and have an emergency service bank holiday just for them. You know
That's an
what I mean?
excellent idea.
But it's again, bank holiday. They still have to work. They still have to run. So it's something what you do 24/7. And I met so many people from emergency services. And what strikes me, that's the majority of these people. They're doing it with their heart. They love what they're doing. They genuinely wanna help to make life better for others.
Totally.
So a big thank you from all of us here, and I think from all the viewers for your great, fantastic job and the risk you are taking on a daily basis.
Indeed, yes.
Definitely.
And the level of dedicated service that you are offering. Incredible, extraordinary efforts going on from all.
So, and I'm just looking here, Lavinia just writing in quickly, at the request of the Greek Prime Minister, went out to my balcony to clap the effort to the health workers.
Ah, great one, Lavinia.
That's great, Lavinia. Thank you. There's more to this message, but I can't see it. Sorry.
We have our technical issues here.
No,
Things
I just
don't quite always run smoothly, but we try our best.
we try definitely our best. And no, I'm very taken for all the responses what come in, but what's happening. So guys, you wanna talk with us? Go on to Skype and phone us, or send us a message here live now while we're on air, or just email inbox at StudioKerkyra.com.
Absolutely. We're hanging out to hear from you, and use us and abuse us as your platform of choice. Why not? We learned today that the UK government is now giving daily briefings of updates of the coronavirus. We, in our small way, are trying to do the same here from the beautiful island of Corfu, Greece.
Yeah, Lavinia said, according to the friends in Athens, some were out on their balconies in Madrid. They are doing this every night. They're doing it every night with her daughter. So the message disappears. I have to click always to keep this message running.
Okay.
So no, it's great. I think somehow it brings the whole
community
world
spirit
together.
Yes, absolutely.
It develops this thing again. And for me, my father always said there's 3 important things in life. It's family, friends, and your community.
Very well said. Absolutely the case. I'm sure we can all, most of us can agree on that one. And there is perhaps the beginnings of a more palpable sense of community spirit emerging. That would be nice, rather than the selfishness and the greed of before the financial crisis and all those days. But isn't it extraordinary how we've gone from such a fast-paced life to this? Lockdowns all around the world, curfews in other countries, no one going about their daily business as usual or normal. There is no more normal. These are unknown times. We can surely agree on that. But if, as Thomas has said, we keep together, we keep communicating together, we will get through this no matter what. The Earth's been around for a very long time. I'm sure human beings will manage, no matter what is thrown at them, to survive in some way, form or other.
Yeah, and I'm looking, I got von Ihnen Winter message. Hi Thomas, I'm part of Ham Film Creatives. We have lots of feature short films and can also do monologues, poetry, monologue, poetry, performance, poetry, etc. It would be nice to help out if we can. Best Ian, thank you very much.
Ian, that's fantastic.
Great.
Please, we'd love poetry. We'd love to get involved and hear some of that from your good selves. So perhaps you could contact us there at inbox StudioKerkyra.com with some more details, and we'll follow that up. Thank you very much indeed, Ian, for contacting us.
Great. I'm just collecting the messages. They're coming in left, right, and center, and it's great. Thank you so much, guys, for sending us messages in. But what we want to know is what you do now to spend time. We got now all of a sudden we have enough time, so makes you think a little bit. No, I mean, it's
we're spoiled for time, aren't we? Almost.
Yeah, no, we are. And I mean, what do you do today? I saw Facebook as example. Oh, online gaming.
Right. Oh, yes. I read yesterday that old age pensioners are, bless them, taking up the reins of video gaming and online gaming, and the fastest growing sector of the games market, apparently, at the moment.
Yes, but the other thing what is quite interesting is that they let you play for free now. So there is certain games companies who took down their payment subscription role and let you pay for free, and you can communicate. I mean, I found it strange. I mean, I studied gaming. I had one of the first PlayStations.
You are a bit of a gamer on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. He is.
I like
quite
my
good,
games.
by the way, as well.
It's, you know, but it's incredible. It's great. And then Xbox came out, and all of a sudden you were able to hook up with your headphones, no?
Wow,
straight,
yeah.
And so you can talk with the player on the
that
other side of the globe,
and
you can play with him a game together, or with a group of people. So I downloaded a couple of games to look what it is. I mean, one of the games that just switched for free was Call of Duty.
That's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a war game, but I don't know if the war game is the right game.
No.
But okay, whatever takes your fancy, as long as it doesn't make you crazy sitting at home and you die for boredom.
You don't want to be doing that for too many hours.
No, you don't want.
Put a time limit. There we are, back to time again.
But
put a little bit of a time limit on that.
There's great other sport games out there, you know.
Yes.
Track and field is example, where you can hook up with 10, 20 gamers. And then is the famous Fortnite.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Of course, what grown and grown. But when you look in, why not, if you have never tried to play a game online, maybe it's the time just to investigate and find out, especially for parents. Have a look now what your kids getting offered on games, and then maybe in future you can influence what games come out. So there's so many.
Do you know, Thomas, there's a good point. That would be great, wouldn't it? But there's so many war shoot 'em up games, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I have a serious problem with Grand Theft Auto, the concept of such a game. But as Thomas has just said, wouldn't it be nice to develop more humane games? Perhaps in the light of coronavirus, the games developers will be more minded to do so. That's actually great to hear that the big gaming companies have dropped their prices, because before coronavirus became an issue, there were a lot of complaints and troubles with you spend €40 or pounds on a video game, and then you've got to join a group made by one of the main manufacturers to properly play further, and that's another
but
few
you
pounds
pay there
on top.
again, no?
Yes, exactly. You're paying twice over to play the same game.
That is what they call in-app purchases or in-game purchases. Just so you see.
Not right.
But there's another warning. Guys, be careful. Don't spend too much money on these in-app purchases. You can play most of the games for free. It's gonna take you a little bit longer to achieve the levels there. So if you buy extras, you can achieve that better. You have a little bit support, you know, in the game. If you don't buy, my God, it's his whole skill. So, but I just got in new from the news from the British in Greece group. That's a big Facebook group. This is British in Greece. So if you British live in Greece, need some information, and don't know this group, log on to them. British in Greece. And they say, our boss Claire just sent this through to us, as of Wednesday, all shops to close except supermarkets, pharmacies, petrol stations, and banks. Self-quarantine for 14 days for all arrivals from abroad. Rumors that there will be a total lockdown forbidding all general movement are unfounded.
Right. That's
the rumors that there's a general lockdown is unfounded. There will be an update at 6 this evening as to the spread of the virus so far. So the Greeks going to have an update 6 o'clock this evening and see what the situation is. But the rumors that there will be a general lockdown forbidding all general movement are unfounded at the moment. So that's not true.
Well, that's one piece of perhaps slightly pleasant news. We knew about the supermarkets, pharmacies, banks and petrol stations. That was kind of in the offing last week. So basically, it's more reassuring than that information could have been. Thank you very much to the British group in Corfu there for supplying us with that information. Of course, we're all about saying to you to stay safe. We really mean that. One thing I would like to say that I forgot last night actually to talk about is that, as always, when you have a crisis or a major predicament, there are always the bogus people who want to make a fast buck or euro, as it were, the criminals. And there are indeed an awful lot of scams on the internet right now that are taking advantage of this dreadful coronavirus. Absolutely appalling. I can give you a few.
Yes, give you example because Claire spoke about
did.
that yesterday. She made us aware of these scams.
She did indeed. So here we go, Claire, following on from your comments yesterday to us. One is purporting to be, would you believe, from the CDC. The address it gives is CDC info arrow CDC-COVID-19 at cdc.gov. That is a fake site, ladies and gentlemen. The title there is "The virus is now airborne." Well, it is not. It's completely wrong. Another one is purporting to be a letter officially written by the World Health Organization, delivered direct to your inbox, and it starts, "Dear Sir or Madam," and it's all about going on about safety documents that are enclosed, and it's guiding you to click on a link to get the latest safety advice. Of course, once you do that, you're either subjecting your equipment to malware, or worse, all your personal details will be hijacked off. Another one boasting COVID-19 tax refund. Here's a site that's telling you, yeah, exactly. In the height of this crisis, they're saying, oh, you must be due a tax rebate or repayment. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is not from any Inland Revenue Service or anywhere in the world. This is a group of scammers.
See, and there, what I do always when I get an email and I see in their tax refund, I delete it straight away because I know it's fake.
Yes. Well, there's all sorts of reasons why that could be. I don't know.
I get a tax refund. Yeah, what world are you living in?
No one is going to send you an email telling you about a tax rebate. Only people to do that would be the Inland Revenue Service of your country or your personal accountant. No one else. So that is obviously a scam right from the start. Another one.
Yeah, and this only happens every 80 years.
Yeah, well, indeed. And here's another one that shows you just how technologically savvy these people are. This one is urging you to donate and help fight the coronavirus. And they're citing a fictitious address here, which starts CDC Health Emergency, or another one, Corona Support at info at whatever it was. And they want you to pay by Bitcoin. Now, there's a thing, eh? Bitcoin in the middle. They want you to donate to this site, ostensibly to be donating towards fending off the coronavirus. But actually, all they want is your Bitcoins. Mind you, I've got to ask, Thomas, what use is a Bitcoin now, and would you be able to retrieve them anyway? And what are you going to do with them anyway?
It's all beyond me, to be honest.
Beyond me
you know?
too, guys.
But okay.
Phishing. Last thing to say is that just to give you a level of phishing emails, there's so many of these phishing, as spelt with a PH, by the way. We're not going fish in the sea. Phishing for your information via email. Up to 200,000 can be sent out at any one time, non-stop, 24/7. So these emails, these phishing scams, and all the rest of it are going to all you good people. So please ignore them. Anything that looks unusual or unknown sender, just don't open.
Great advice. Don't open that. And I got another thing in von Lavinia. Thank you very much. She sends PS tonight 9 p.m. to clap. So it's not every night, 9 p.m. every night. What they do in Spain do. They started yesterday in Greece at 9 p.m.
Great.
Yeah. So to support our emergency services, all the staffs, all the nurses, all the doctors, all the fire.
That's a great idea of it.
Firemen, all the police officers, everybody, all the ambulance staff, everyone, all the healthcare staff, 9 p.m. every night. So if you have nothing else to do,
well,
just step outside to your balcony or to your terrace and just clap. Don't worry about looking silly. Just do it and show your appreciation for this, for our heroes.
Absolutely. And that's 9 o'clock Greek time, is that?
9 o'clock Greek time.
Well, I'll be doing that to the birds and the lizards and the olive trees and the ocean, which is my view from my balcony. I'm extraordinary lucky, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll never forget that, actually. Every moment that I'm lucky enough to be living on this beautiful island of Corfu in Greece, I just think, whoa, how lucky I am. If the world was to stop tomorrow, at least for me personally, it would be in a lovely place. And that's what I think you guys at home should do, is cherish the place that you love. Most of us love our homes. Cherish them, ladies and gentlemen, and cherish the people around you as well. We are all precious. Don't forget that, you know. There's not one person maybe overqualified and have all these titles and medals, for sure, deservedly so. But at the end of the day, We are all mortals, Homo sapiens, living on this wonderful, beautiful planet. Let's try and keep it that way.
Yes, cool. And I'm just going through now quickly our ticker in the bottom. So if you need any information, if you want to log on somewhere for our UK people now, you can call 111 or visit the website www.111.nhs.uk/COVID-19 or go to www.nhs.uk. So the coronavirus COVID-19 helplines for the European Union. You can log on to the European Union website. This is www.ecdc.europa.eu. There you can find all the information necessary across Europe. And for Chris, when you are here and you're not sure what's going on, you can always call 1135 or visit the website www.eody.gov.gr.
Yes, well said, Thomas. It's great that we've got this information, and please do call. The one piece of advice or urgent plea that the UK authorities were issuing over the weekend was please do not contact your doctor or general practitioner, or indeed just turn up at the hospital. If you're in doubt, put yourself in isolation for a minimum of 7 days, and then phone that helpline of the NHS 111 or their designated website for the coronavirus that Thomas has just read out.
So so and if you have any questions or you got news for us, don't hesitate, come
Please.
and let us know. We're gonna do the show now every day. We're gonna come with the show every day from 2 p.m. We're gonna get more information. We're gonna get more facts for you. So if you have a question, let us know so we can look into the whole thing. No, but okay, the news is going. I mean, it's interesting. Downing Street number 10 is starting doing a daily news update now. Yeah, they announced it yesterday.
Yes, it's a mixture of scientific and health advice, and I dare say government advice as well, depending on the topics of the day that are most serious. There's so much information. I mean, when we started to compile basic information for this program, Lockdown SK, it dawned on us pretty quickly that the amount of information is unbelievably vast. It's like one of those huge supercomputers, and for us mere mortals to try and get to grips with that and make a note of it is a bit tricky. That's why we're looking forward to hearing from you, almost dare I say relying on you contacting us in any means you wish to, with information that you have or questions or queries or advice. Please don't hold back. Just do that, because we are your platform, certainly going across social media, and that's what we're all about here, keeping it social. You don't have to be miserable in self-isolation. You can share your isolation with others with the power of social media, for instance, and indeed watching us. It's times like this when great broadcasting organisations come into their own, and I'm going to fly the flag here for one such, which is the BBC, the world's very first broadcasting corporation, been broadcasting now for in excess of 70 years. They do a fantastic service, and I do believe, despite all their detractors and all the people that want to shut them down or end this, that and the other, now is the time more than ever for the BBC to keep broadcasting. So please, BBC, if you're listening to this, please do so. You have my full and unnerving support, as indeed you do Thomas's. You're a great institution, and your time is now, just like we want to offer this service to perhaps other people who might not be able to get BBC. And we are on the internet, which gives us a fantastic non-stop reach or scope right across the globe. So that's why we want to hear from you, even if you're in Timbuktu or Alaska or on a lovely Southeast Asian island. We don't care. Sumatra, there's one, for instance. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and I just got another info in there, how it is when you get stopped. I got from somebody in and said, okay, we got stopped. We crossed the border from Germany into Austria. On both sides, they're doing it. So they stop you and they take your temperature. They take a swab, and they waiting on the borders for hours and hours and hours. Blimey. So if it's really not necessary, just don't travel. No. Then is another thing I got in, that's from Morocco. That's
yes, I know about that one.
Have you read
EasyJet,
that? I just
yes,
said
there
that.
are people who are stranded on an EasyJet holiday in Morocco. Flights have stopped between the UK and Morocco. I do believe, though, EasyJet, very good airline that they are, they would be organising repatriation flights. So I'm sure if you are in the unfortunate position to be stuck in Morocco, and to be quite honest, what a lovely place to be stuck, I would say, don't worry, rest assured, you will be rescued at some point by, no doubt, EasyJet. The airlines are taking the full brunt of this, and I dare say, Thomas, very soon they're going to have immediate government funds, whichever government they're operating under, simply to keep going, because these are unprecedented times for them.
Definitely unprecedented. I'm just going something else here. Teresa Dabana is writing, in Coventry they have webcasts of masses so that the older generation does not have to go out. They also have a phone line to help with the setup of the connection, so you can watch that. See, that's what we mean. Live streaming is coming completely into its own field now, and that's fantastic. And this can be done, I mean, you know, with smaller sporting events, with smaller, just be a little bit creative and go. It comes up. You just need a laptop, you need a webcam, and off you go. But I think that's exactly what we were talking about earlier, how live streaming, how webcasting comes in now to his own role to support this situation we have. Is the digital age and this communication, and we are flowing, we are just going everywhere, and live streaming can be a big part of that, especially now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Pope Francis has set the trail ablaze by doing just that. Started a week ago doing masses, not in public but on live stream. So it's good enough for Papa Pontiff. It's surely good enough for all of us more humble, meagre folks.
More humble, meagre folks.
Well, I think he's a good Pope. I've got to say, Pope Francis has no doubt done his absolute best. I'm not a particularly religious person of any one denomination, because I worry about turning my back to everybody else. But there's good in all religions. Whatever your religion is, there's lots and lots of good. And I'm sure Pope Francis is one of those good people.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he's, but there's other organizations what are great, you know, what support constantly. But no, that's one part of the thing. I think it's great. And I just switch over, so now quickly, I have to get used to that.
You've got a bit of swinging around to do.
That's not how we thought we gotta lay that out inside, but okay, it's working.
Yes, and that's because we're able, with a slightly larger van, to have 2 full-blown cameras in here, plus other secondary cameras.
Great, it's
great audio as well. We can, as I said to you earlier on, we can, when we're permitted to, go anywhere, to broadcast from anywhere within reason. But
and we're gonna talk when we spoke with the deputy mayor of Corfu down. You sent her Paniota.
Yes, I did. She's a lovely
fantastic
lady,
woman,
fantastic mayor, the new mayor. We briefly said hello. Don't know the lady, but she, I think, to my eyes, has already done sterling work here on this island of Corfu. People were moaning 2 years ago and 1 year ago about rubbish. There's not a single sign of it now. It is being completely sorted out, as have the roads. They have been doing ditches and trying to repair as many roads as they can. The island does suffer from subsidence and certain water damage, so it's a constant battle to keep back the elements at bay. But the new mayor and her great team are making strides in that direction.
Yes, they do. And when you sent the message over, she said, okay, we have to meet. She want to answer a couple of questions.
She wanted a coffee, but unfortunately,
you all ruled yourself.
But we ruled herself out for that one.
But it was impressive, because you got so quickly the answer back from her, explaining that they have really a hard time at the moment. They're working all hours at the moment to keep us safe, and make decisions. You know, they're not easy to make the decisions, don't get me wrong.
No, and we are, as we keep saying, in uncharted waters here. There is no precedent to this. This is completely unknown to all of us, including, dare I say, the medical and scientific experts. It's an unknown equation here. So we just have to, most important of all, stay calm. And as they say, carry on. But we're saying keep social.
Keep social,
we
exactly.
must keep your strand of humanity. This is what's most important, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to resort to anarchy, mob rule, or any of that. That's probably why the governments are concerned. But at the moment, as far as I'm aware, that's not happening, and people are definitely behaving themselves and getting to measure with the seriousness of the situation of which we're living under.
Yeah, man, especially when you look now, I mean, these guys, they have a huge task ahead of them. I mean, being now in charge, like, the mayor in Corfu, Mehopi, and then Panayota, and all the others, hello to Danaidu in the municipal office. And you know what, that's how do you make this decision? You are confronted with this situation. Now you have to think in a way to, to make everybody happy. You know how it is. You deal with a big group of people. Man, she's dealing with the whole island here.
138,000 souls or so.
Exactly, working with the other two mayors together from North Corfu and from South Corfu, because there's three now, split into three. So, but they have to see that they have to make strong decisions, and they can't be made lightly. That's
absolutely not.
That puts stress on yourself. What should you do now? How should you decide? Do we close the shops? Do we leave them open? What should be open when we close? How do we restrict the movement of our people? That's also decisions you can't just do in 5 minutes. You have to talk about it. You have to really implement things, strategies, make sense and protect the community. And some love it, some hate it. I don't understand why, because they're trying their best. Let's be honest. That's not an easy task, and they have a lot to think about. And that's what she said. They're in constant meetings to find out what's going on and how to prevent a further spread.
Yes, indeed. And I can only imagine how difficult it must be to sit down in a group of people and make those decisions for the benefit of all, with the support of all. Because let's face it, the good municipal team do ultimately need the support of every one of us here on Corfu, and the same would be so wherever else you are in the world. If you're in a very big city, it must be quite extra terrifying. We are lucky here to be surrounded by beautiful nature and wonderful countryside. If you're living in a big city, different rules and games apply, really. It's harder. So maybe that's why community singing is a good one. Going back to Greece, of course, Greece, especially Corfu, is renowned for its choirs. Every village has maybe more than one choir, and they are quite used to singing in groups. I think we might be seeing a lot more of that, maybe, Thomas.
Probably, but this is again, Austria just read, they not allow more than a group of 5 people at one time. So this cuts down. By choir, I think we're going to run into a problem with that.
Yes, we were. In France, it was down to 50, but every country is bringing out different numbers and figures and regulations. But I suppose you could still have a reasonable choir, a 4-part choir would be okay, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
as long as I'm not in it, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. You wouldn't want that happening.
That would be interesting.
No.
That would be
interesting.
Stop giving me ideas. Yeah.
No, please, because there's so many wonderful musicians and singers out there, and we'd much rather hear your dulcet tones and your beautiful strings of music rather than our tones, I have to say.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things we can do. So we're going to look in what we can do for the weekend. Maybe we can broadcast in Mass.
That would be lovely.
Maybe there's any other things we can broadcast and show. But we're going to be with Lockdown SK here with you every day.
Yes, indeed. 2 o'clock Greek time, 12 o'clock UK time, 1 o'clock French, German, Europe,
you got
Western European time.
Yeah. But 2 o'clock Greek time, we're going to be here and we try to update you more and more of what's going on. We're going to get some pictures in, and I'm going to organize a couple of phone calls with people from other countries. So if you're interested to talk with us in the next couple of days on our show live, contact us, inbox at StudioKerkyra.com, or send us a request on Skype. StudioKerkyra is the same, or just send us a message on Facebook. We can chat, and yes, we would love to find out. We would love to know where you are and what's happening where you are, and that can be anywhere in the world. So take part, let us know, and tell us a little bit about your situation. Here I got pictures in, and I'm gonna show this tomorrow. I'm talking to Andrea in LA.
Oh,
and
hello, Andrea.
And she sent a couple of pictures in about how people behave in the shopping centers. Just out. She has never seen anything like that, but she took pictures while she was driving past, and I'm gonna show that tomorrow in the show, and we're gonna get some other pictures and see, and maybe we get a little bit statement of the municipality in Corfu about the situation. So we're gonna look in and see how far we get with that.
Yes, indeed, Thomas. That's a very good idea. Just keep sharing us wonderful pieces of information like that. Your pictures, we'd love to see any of them, even if they're selfies, we don't mind. Particularly what you're doing to amuse yourself if you happen to be one of the millions now, and it is running into tens, hundreds of millions of people who are finding themselves in lockdown, self-isolation, or quarantine. Whichever word you want to use, it all amounts basically to the same thing.
It does, yeah, definitely. So,
yeah. So what
the situation? I still can't get my head around it.
I don't think any of us can, Thomas. Yeah. We are finding our way both here to do this program, Lockdown SK, but as a whole group, a world population, all of us together, no matter where we are, we're all trying to find our way. These are totally unknown times and circumstances that are befalling all of us.
Yes, they are, and I'm just seeing where I can get. There's a couple of comments coming in because this is shared via Facebook.
Right, yes, please welcome everyone on Facebook Live. It's always good to hear from you.
So, and I'm just looking through. I try to not to miss all these messages.
Yeah, I'm sure there's loads.
Yeah, now there's loads coming in. I have to sort it all out. It's going everywhere. So we try to talk tomorrow to Peter Pauli from Corfu Tourist.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, he is in England. I had this email with him earlier, as a conversation with him earlier. We try to talk with him tomorrow. We fix the system so that's not a problem. Then maybe we talk with Steve Ford quick and anybody else around. We can get our hands on. So don't hesitate. Write in. We can organize this before. You don't have to call live if you don't want. We can organize it, and then I call you in the show, and we can chat a little bit about how the situation is where you are. That's the key point. That's the key point. And let us know what you do, how you entertain yourself, everything really. Let's get together through this time.
Mind you, keep it clean as always. Think of your grandma.
And there I lost the camera. Well, sorry, man. So that happens.
These little gremlins, you know, they come and they go. We used to have a frog floating around in our old studios. Maybe it's the return of the frog. Actually, talking about frogs, if you'd like to hear the chorus of frogs singing, do you know what? Corfu is the island for you. It's fantastic. When I came to the studio earlier on today, all I could hear were frogs.
No.
Yes. I can't beat a bit of good frog. Yes, we're still adjusting the old cameras. But as we keep saying, we are this new platform in this new streaming shuttle, the new van that we have here. Well, it's not actually new, but it's certainly newly kitted out, and it's a different vehicle. Greek registered, I should point out. So we're fully legal and up together and can go anywhere. Not that we weren't before, but we had a bit of an MOT problem. So that's gone. We're now absolutely raring to go at, of course, at the discretion of the government and the municipality. We decided that we'd keep at home for the moment and not exacerbate movement unnecessarily.
Yeah, and so with our van here, we nicely parked. And what a beautiful day. Just I think it's 18 degrees out here, a sunny day. The oranges are just coming and getting better and better. And there's another one, is vitamin C.
Orange juice.
So, orange juice, or a little bit hot water with a little bit of lemon in there.
Oh, very nice.
It's vitamins what our body at the moment needs. So why not?
Absolutely, Thomas. Yes. As well as keeping the fluids up with the water. That was a good point from the viewer before. But juice is always good. I don't know about energy drinks. I don't really know whether you need extra energy at the moment. So maybe chill out a little bit. Well, okay.
Wouldn't hurt. A little bit of extra energy.
Well, I suppose if you're bashing the keys on a computer game, Fast and Furious or whatever, and yes, maybe you need that for that. But
or go and bake a cake.
Well, actually, funny you say that.
Another thing. Try something you haven't tried before.
Thomas.
Come on.
Lots of people are doing exactly that. Baking cakes, making batch food, as they say, to probably put in the freezer, which is always a good idea to think ahead.
Sit outside, take a piece of food, a knife and whittle a little bit. So why not?
Well, yes, you could.
No,
yes.
it's a thing when you think back. What did they do? Have your knife, a little bit of food, and just carve a little bit around. Do things you want to try.
It's the time. Whittling. Whistling, yes.
I said whittling.
Actually, the caller that we heard from earlier on, from Alex in New Zealand, his father, who he briefly mentioned, a guy called Dave Walder in Hazlemere, he's a fantastic whittler. He got a piece of wood, he'd get a stick of piece of wood, and he'd turn it into something quite amazing.
Yeah, yes, and when you look, man, I'm used to it from Austria when we go into the mountains and the villages, and then you have some workshops, wood workshops. Fantastic.
Yes.
You know, it's the talents. They have great talent, and you find this everywhere. Even here with the olive wood carvings, the shops, when you look in,
Thomas,
they have some
amazing.
fantastic things in
they
there.
do. Not just in Corfu town, although there are many in Corfu town, but actually dotted all around the island. You will suddenly see in the middle of nowhere an olive wood shop festooned with different products made from olive wood. Bowls, forks, knives, spoons, mugs, receptacles of all sort, and as well as decorative pieces. But actually, there's a large variety of practical things made from olive wood, which is fantastic, isn't it?
What is great? I mean, yesterday we spoke quickly with Steve Ford. He said, he's doing his watercolors.
Brilliant, Steve.
So
Well
it's
done.
great. It's a hobby what you just pick up, and this is you teach yourself different skills. That's what it's all about. Now you got the time, you can read up on things, what you always wanted to read up. Now you can fix things. I mean, I saw a comment from somebody on things. He said, finally, you know what, now no excuse for my man not to do the list of house chores he was hanging around for the last 5 years. It's also, you know, it can bite you. Too.
Yes, okay, yes, that's true.
But, you know, that's also things what come now to effect. Or why not take out an old-fashioned board game? It's something interesting.
That's great, Thomas. Absolutely. Chess, drafts, Monopoly. That's always a good one.
Yes.
There's so many good games out there. And did I read somewhere that someone's developing a game about this wretched coronavirus? I think somebody is.
I didn't hear that one.
I think I picked
Seriously?
it up somewhere. Yeah, seriously. I don't think I want to fancy playing that. No.
What is it called? Containment.
Containment. Maybe, yes.
You know, I don't know.
Could well be. But that's a very good idea, Thomas. And it brings the family together. And your friends, and in a safe environment, and it's a distraction from the current times. It's always good. Human interaction. Look, we're maybe deprived of it on the streets, but for heaven's sake, let's keep hold of it in our houses.
That's the way to do it. And I mean, now it's time. And before we always said, we're writing a nice letter. I got time, I write a letter. Now it's your time to write an email. Or,
yes,
you know,
quite.
to rethink your life a little bit. I think there's great opportunities now when you just look at your life and say, okay, no, I have time now to just get this all into my head and see, okay, is there some changes I should make in my life? Or is there some new things I wanted to try?
That's a great point, Thomas.
Now is the time. Now
yes.
is the change. So you can, you know, of all bad things, good things come. It's
totally
right.
Simple
as that. And maybe that's an opportunity for some just to get back on their feet again.
Yes.
But now is the time. That's what's...
Try something new. Try something that you think you would never be any good at. Therefore, go on. Surprise yourself. Remember, as a human being, you are amazing. Remember that. Try your hand to anything. Obviously, within reason that what you can do in front of you. But it's a great idea. Free the mind. See what you really can do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. I mean, there's in my head now, you know, it's not easy because now you're confronted. You see, okay, what should I do? So it probably takes you a couple of days just to figure out what do I want? You know, what should I do now? Until you remember something you long forgotten.
Yes.
Said, oh, I forgot about that. It's actually time. I can do that. I mean, my friend Tim, he's fishing. No, he's isolating himself
he's quite
somewhere.
A fisher, isn't he?
Yeah. He's isolating himself somewhere on a beach in a nice little corner.
Nice one.
And he's fishing. And you know, he's a father of 3. No, single father of 3, and there's not a lot of time. No, you know, you're looking after the kids. Okay, they're grown up now, and so he can start enjoying his life. But you know, enjoy that with fishing. If you have never tried it, go and try fishing somewhere on the side. Now go for walks, as we said, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
walk is doing you good and is healthy for you.
Wow, and a hell of a lot more interesting and exciting than joining a long, laborious supermarket queue.
Yeah, definitely.
Catch your own dinner. Wow.
Catch your own dinner.
That's a great idea. Sorry, vegans. Probably is not the case for you, but maybe you could go...
That's the only shelves in the supermarket that are still full, man.
Maybe vegans, if they're lucky enough to be in open areas, countryside areas, they could go for nut collecting. I don't know when the season for nuts is, but I know that they keep going on about a nut roast. I have to say, in my ignorance here and shame, I've never had a nut roast. Maybe someone out there can send us in a nut roast to StudioKerkyra and we can see what it's like.
Okay, why not?
Yeah. Why not?
but I saw a picture from somebody from a supermarket, and
Oh, right.
yeah, and he said he showed all the shelves are empty.
Oh,
The only shelf what was still fully stocked
yes.
was the vegan section.
I think I saw that photograph as
and then
well.
I think it's even
Yes.
Tesco, if I'm not wrong with that. So the only shelf full was with vegan food. So
even in these times,
in
I'm sure
emergencies, you know what aisle you have to go.
Good advice, Thomas. I don't think the vegans will be too happy, but great advice for all your non-vegans out there. Yes, quite.
But okay, I think we can round that up for today. We, of course, come now every day straight to you here on StudioKerkyra with Lockdown SK. Every day for the next 2 weeks, for sure, we're going to come at 2 p.m. We're going to bring you updates, the latest updates about the situation, global situation, Greece and Europe. And yes, and we would love to have questions from you. If there's anything you don't understand or you try information you try to find out, don't hesitate, contact us. We help you to find it out, or you know something what you think we should know is brilliant. At the same time, don't hesitate, write to us, inbox at StudioKerkyra.com, or message us on Facebook, or call us or message us on Skype, and let us know what you do now with the quarantine time, how useful you make the time, or how much use you make out of the time now. And talk to us. We would love to know, we really would love to know
absolutely.
Now from other countries, how is the situation there, how is it feeling, how is the mood, how is the atmosphere. So get in touch with us, and we organize a call with you, or send us a quick email explaining, or a message, and just let us know what's happening around, or not around the world, where you are.
Yes. And remember, sci-fi isolation doesn't have to be a miserable or lonely experience. You can share it with others through our medium, amongst others. So you don't have to be lonely and miserable. We're all suffering a degree of pain of some sort, whether it's physical or psychological. It's all pain at the end of the day. Let's try and alleviate that pain, and Lockdown SK is the medium to try to do exactly that.
That's what it is. And just to update you again, Germany closed their borders to their 5 neighboring countries. That's Holland, France, Switzerland, Germany, and Sweden. Poland is also closed there. So they closed it down for the moment. So travel, anything you planned, just at the moment, don't even think about it. Don't get upset about it. If you planned your holiday, it's not gonna happen. Get used to it now. Now face the reality, and don't get sad about it. You can rebook that, and there's booking.com. All the bookings done with non-refundable, they're gonna refund now. You can cancel them or rebook them, and you get your refund back.
Yes, I think most big organisations are doing exactly that. So a quick message to Steve Ford there in England. Sorry, Steve, it doesn't look like you're going to be lucky enough to come over when you were planning to, but never mind, your seat is still here for when you do.
Cool. And I got one more, this is down your road now, another question. Just don't understand that. What impact does it have on the financial market?
Decimation.
So I think that's now, I think
decimation on that one.
It's a good question for me too. I think I would like to know the answer there. I'm not that hooked up with the financial market, but I know you are.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that in the last week or so, unprecedented things have been happening. I mean, stock markets, as you know, have been crashing all around the world. They are now far worse than the financial crisis, probably back to 1987 days in the United Kingdom. I know the markets is President Donald Trump's favourite subject. I doubt if it is today. Yesterday, something extraordinary happened, Thomas, and that was last night in Greek time, in America, probably early evening. The Federal Reserve cut unexpectedly, out of nowhere, interest rates down to practically zero. This is absolutely unheard of in my lifetime.
And that means what?
promise, well, that it's great if you've got a mortgage to pay or you've got debts, because the interest on that is lowered accordingly. You probably pay a little bit of interest, but nowhere near like you have been paying. I mean, interest rates were already at quite historic lows. They were 50 base points above zero. We cut to 25. This is the United States I'm talking about, and now it's zero. The Bank of England in the United Kingdom cut interest rates recently around the time of the budget that's just gone. They are now at 0.25%, I believe, which is a figure that they were in the deepest, darkest days of the financial crisis back in 2008, 2009. Also, the American Federal Reserve has pumped in an extremely large amount of money. Another $700 billion were pumped into it last night. The running total there, ladies and gentlemen, is now in the trillions from the United States. Oil price has collapsed further. Last time I looked, it was $31 a barrel, I think. I can't quite find the piece of information there. But I think it was $31 a barrel, just touching 30, coming down from a steady 50. It was 65 only a few months ago. They're saying that's to do with coronavirus. They're saying it's to do with the disagreement between Saudi Arabia and Russia about output and OPEC. But actually, it's quite fundamental as well. I think a bit of common sense says that probably the main driving force for the collapse in oil prices is simply because of the collapse of the oil market. Who is going to be needing all this oil in a few months from now? People are saying, oh, the world may go into recession. Well, folks, in my humble opinion, I think that's inevitable. I think that's unavoidable with what you're seeing all around the globe. I mean, you saw China shut down, one of the first countries. You saw great factories shut down. And even a great manufacturer like Foxconn, who manufactures people's favorite iPhones for Apple, have stopped producing the Apple iPhone and are now making ventilators and masks just to serve the growing need for such products. Gold has, the price of gold in the markets has also risen, although it went to $1660 a troy ounce a few days ago. It's fallen back to $1558, I do believe. Stock markets all around the world have crashed. This is unlike we've ever seen before. I always remember, showing my age now, the stock market crash in 1987. That was a big one. That was brought about by Big Bang, which happened in the UK in 1986. Big Bang terminology for financial markets. It was the day when basically stringent regulation went out the window. Suddenly stockbrokers and jobbers were made redundant, and there were just traders trading on the floor, but it was all done electronically. And I suppose since the rise of the internet, which is probably one of the reasons what precipitated the financial crisis of 2008, 2009, people went off crazy with all these unbelievably complicated names of financial products that no one, I don't think even some of themselves, knew what they were all about. CDCs and EFTs and all the rest of it. I don't know what they are, but it definitely precipitated the financial crisis. But right now, do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Financial markets isn't the number one priority. People say, oh, well, what interest is it to me? I don't own shares or anything else. The answer the experts say is, oh, but you do inadvertently through pension policies. Well, okay, that's true. But like everyone else and like everything else, these are different times. Normal rules are not applying. So to predict what the markets would be tomorrow from this point now is pretty impossible, but I've got a nasty feeling they're going to be even more negative than they are today. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, markets have been falling by 7%, 10%, 8%, 3-4% today. It's non-stop down. There is no confidence. The world economy has more or less ground to a halt. Obviously, we've highlighted medical supplies, planes and cargoes are still going around for that. But normal day-to-day e-commerce and things, I don't know. It's a different ballgame, Thomas.
Yeah, I know. So this is financially is a little bit of a bummer there, isn't it? But it shouldn't be our biggest concern, to be honest.
Definitely not. Absolutely not. Our biggest concern is to stay calm, keep social, and retain our humanity through these unprecedented times.
Exactly, and I think we're gonna prevail because
of course we will.
We are human beings.
We are
human beings, and when it comes down to it, we're gonna
Well,
work together. There is no question. It's
absolutely.
always your history shows that.
If mankind can get men to walk on the moon and send spaceships like India and China have off and Russia up to the moon and come back, then we can do this humble thing.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. So I'm just going through at a glance quickly of the key points from the coronavirus developments. Portugal and Spain have agreed to hold tourism across their 1,200 kilometer shared border starting on Monday, so
Okay.
yesterday. Serbia's president has proclaimed a nationwide state of emergency and told foreigners waiting to enter the country, don't come or you will be quarantined.
Right. I think that's pretty much the message from many, many countries.
Many on there. Montenegro has banned foreigners from entering and ordered the closure of cafes, restaurants, shopping malls, fitness centers, and children playgrounds. In Greece, confirmed COVID-19 cases have risen to 333.
Ooh,
That's an increase of 101 in one day.
blimey. Steep.
Yeah, UK coronavirus death toll hits 35 as further 14 patients who tested positive for the virus have died. The Vatican's Holy Week ceremonies will go ahead, but without public attendance.
Yes, that's the key thing
So
there.
that's the key thing. They're gonna live stream
Yeah.
that again. Poland resorts checks on its land borders with Germany, the Czech Republic,
Yeah.
Lithuania, and Slovakia on Sunday. Bosnia forces incoming residents to stay in tents for 14 days.
Yes, that seems to be a running average now. 14-day quarantine for several countries. That's Australia and New Zealand, for instance. But many others have adopted that.
Yeah. The other one, Spain declares state of alarm and announces a partial lockdown after the sharp rise in cases.
Right.
France closes all its bars, restaurants, and non-essential outlets. Denmark announces its first death from the virus.
Right, that's sad.
Romania announces a state of emergency starting Monday, so yesterday, and the Wuhan football team leaving Spain to escape the coronavirus.
No, there's an ironic
So
twist.
that's an ironic twist, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed. Spain has been particularly badly hit along with Italy in Europe so far.
Yeah. It is because the WHO, the World Health Organization, declares Europe the new epicenter of the pandemic.
Yes, that was done yesterday.
And that was done yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's all coming. So that's what we're doing here, is trying to bring you the latest.
Yes, indeed. Our figures are only as good as the ones that come into us, and we are striving obviously for accuracy, but we can't give any guarantees. All we can say is we're doing our best to verify.
Yes, we certainly do. And now we're getting slowly with the internet. It's coming, it's going, and that's, I think, has to do. There's a lot of people using the internet at the moment.
We better
Definitely.
make way for other users. We've been here now broadcasting to you for a lovely time. But please don't hesitate to contact us. You can always email us at that funny odd hour if you remember something, at inbox@StudioKerkyra.com. And we will all, of course, be back here again tomorrow, Tuesday, 2 o'clock Greek time, 12 o'clock noon UK time. So we can take your live comments from Facebook Live. And go on, be brave, as I keep saying. Pick up that Skype phone and give us a call.
Call us and chat with us.
Yeah, we love it.
Great.
You don't want to keep hearing our boring, monotonous voices. We want to have a little bit of chorus with different voices.
Banter, you going, explain us.
We like banter, don't we, Thomas?
Definitely. Let us know how the situation is where you are and what you and your community is doing about it.
Absolutely.
Simple. Yeah, and yes, but I think that's all we have time for today. We're gonna gather more information. Should there be anything emergency what comes to light, we're gonna be back with the live stream immediately. So we're gonna make there a lockdown SK special with the latest news. Should something break, what we think you should know, we're gonna share it with you. But for today, thank you so much for logging on, for watching us, for taking part in our interactive self-isolation show here on StudioKerkyra Lockdown SK. And for me, it's just
One
stay
thing,
calm.
Thomas, when we do, if we were
Yeah.
to do an emergency broadcast, I would say we will be immediately broadcasting. Well, that is, of course, after our cup of coffee.
Yeah, or
have to
maybe
have one of them.
before. If it's really, really urgent, we do it before. Come on.
Well, maybe we have a coffee while we're doing it. That's the one. I knew we'd get there in the end. Yeah, we're compromised. We found somewhere in the middle. And that's exactly the key thing, Thomas. We need in these times to compromise. Greed's gone. It's past history. No. We've got to look to the now and live for the now. And it's the most important thing to do. So stay calm, keep social.
Definitely. And so for me now, thank you for watching. If there's anything, please, let us know what we should know. Write inbox@studiokerkyra.com. Send us a message on Facebook or send us a message on Skype. Contact us and share your info, your experience with us. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for commenting. And we're going to see you latest tomorrow again at 2 p.m.
Yes, thank you very much indeed for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and a very good afternoon to you from Greece.